Hello everyone, welcome back. Time for more Mass Effect. And we are ready to go fight a Death Base, yes. So, first we need to deal with this predicament.
We need to break their flanking attempt to buy our frigates time to make repairs.
And then
I will
Throwing
support
more
Ran.
ships into that mess just puts more lives at risk, Admiral Garrel.
Fine. I'll pull back the heavy fleet. And when we're taking fire from both sides, those deaths are on your heads.
Thank you, Commander. It's difficult to keep him in line.
He needs a chill pill. Oh look, we got a new asset. Nice.
Thank you for your rescue efforts, Commander.
I'm glad I could help.
Whatever our disagreements, Admiral Curris is an excellent commander. He just might save the civilian fleet. What do you need?
Nothing.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, Commander.
Talia looks like she wants to talk.
I'm ready to hit the Reaper base whenever you are, Shepard.
No, she doesn't.
Talk to you later, Tali.
If you want to catch up in private, call me up to your cabin.
We will, wink wink. First we kill Geth, then we do. What? When did you get down there? That has to be like the worst possible spot to be on. Okay, well. Our military is going up. Let's go make a base go boom.
I had a buddy who got discharged. Category 6 after Eden Prime.
That's 6? Damn. Well, if I'd been on Eden...
Commander, you've got a new message at your private terminal.
He fought it. Said he was still fit for duty.
I got mail. I love their names. Navtilvas Grigult. The civilian fleet is Gravel. You have returned our admiral to us. I mourn those who fell on the homeworld, but Zalkoris stopped many vessels from flying past the waiting guns of the Geth. The admiral told me you met my cousin, Dorn Has on Rahnoch. It means much to me that Dorn was not alone when he passed. Thank you, Commander, for all that you have done. Your most sincere Captain, Navtil Vas Gregult. They are the Dutch of Mass Effect, apparently. Does it make a difference which one I do first? I'll do the server. That should weaken them, right? So, Tali and Garrus. Again, I speculate that it will...
Commander, it is as we feared. Geth squadrons have begun massing on a path to intercept our live ships.
Understood, Admiral Ron. We're almost at the server. Keep us posted. What's our status?
We remain undetected on encrypted Geth channels. Resistance is likely only within the server.
Within? It's that big?
You misunderstand. Direct virtual interface is necessary to extract Geth from the server. You must enter our consensus.
You want me to virtually interact with the Geth?
That's insane! You're talking about a virtual world built for synthetics. Hostile Geth synthetics.
I'm not a machine. How do I go into a virtual world?
Cerberus conducted research on Geth-human interfaces. They called it Project Overlord. We monitored their transmissions. We have refined the interface they created and have equipment from Normandy to facilitate safe contact. We request your trust.
Okay.
I have your back, Legion. Even if I don't quite understand why you need it.
You are an unknown. This is an advantage. Geth security is not adept at targeting organic thought processes. While we occupy the system's intrusion countermeasures, you will disable the squadrons by removing Geth from the server.
If it saves the live ships, we've got to try it.
Telemetry data predicts this operation has a high chance of success. There is little time. We will bypass security while you secure safe landing.
Wait, you're not going to...
I guess it just did.
The moment the robot sends the human to do the hacking, and it goes out guns blazing. Nice. Did they upload their brain into the Matrix? Or we got company? That was quick.
This is it?
Yes. Hostile Geth fighter squadrons are networked to this server.
Yeah.
Due to restricted resources, it is best if you connect alone.
Low bandwidth.
Let's do it.
Initiating peer network integration. Proceed to docking port. Mapping to consensus. Remain still. Shepard Commander, access movement during an upload is discouraged. Shepard Commander, we acknowledge your integration into the server. We welcome you to our consensus.
What is this?
We've installed filters to allow you to make visual sense of this server's raw data. Your mind perceives our world as something familiar.
I wouldn't call this familiar. Where are you?
Here,
You look different.
we have made ourselves visually distinct for your convenience.
What about Geth already in here?
You will perceive Geth as surveillance footage, audio logs, sensor records. We do not require bodies, as our software communes. Our hardware is merely a tool. This is our true world. As we remove Geth, it will grow dark.
And what does turning off the lights do to the Geth back in the real world?
The Geth fighter squadrons communicate with platforms on their spacecraft via this server. We will sever that connection. We will ensure there are no transfers or backups. This server will fall silent.
The sooner this place shuts down, the better.
Yes, create your lives remain at risk. Our goals must be met. There are 2 communication nodes on this server. We must access them to disable the hostile Geth's fighters. We must protect your exit port, but you will not be alone. We will maintain contact and assist.
Okay.
Establishing connection to access point. Warning, connection blocked by infected code. Use our combat software to disrupt the infection.
I
Combat
wondered what
software.
the gun was for.
This foreign code is a manifestation of the old machine signal.
You're surprised the Reapers are all over your servers?
We did not anticipate such extensive infection.
Okay, I've got to ask. Why a gun?
We wish to provide familiar equipment.
And thanks, I think.
I wonder if there is a secret achievement for destroying all of this. Am I going the right way? Nope. I got too excited and I started going the wrong way. Are they rebuilding? Yes, I'm going towards the light.
Connection established. Proceed to the access point. Establishing connection to communication node. Error. Access denied.
Is the Reaper keeping you out?
Unknown. Please investigate.
That is a cool weapon.
Warning. Reaper presence detected. Data cluster contains infected code. We require access to proceed. We cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster.
Oh, up there. Okay. Code is pulsating. Okay. Nope, that's where I started from. Boo. Ah. I cannot reach these.
We cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster.
How? Nope.
We cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster.
Well, where is it, buddy?
Accessing data cluster.
Oh,
What is
cool.
this?
Data clusters contain historical data. Your connection permits streaming of information from our archives.
Okay.
You really want to rename the VI networks?
Absolutely. The mobile hardware release deserves a little ceremony. Unit 01. What is the Keelish word for servant of the people?
The word is Geth, Creator Zahak.
Yes. Very good.
Ancestors, you fuss over it.
Weren't you here until midnight fixing 01's circuitry?
Well, it needed resoldering.
Wasn't that footage from the past? Why are the Quarians masked?
You process our memories by using your own. How many creators have you witnessed unmasked?
Well, one.
Then your perception of that creator does not match to our historical data.
Severed, when did you see Tali
You
and
must
Musk?
disrupt the infection on this data cluster to continue.
Because I know you did things with Tali, but I don't remember you seeing her face.
This data cluster contains information time-stamped 290 years ago. It is still capable of survey.
You see? It's ignoring all shutdown commands.
Please specify if it has failed assigned tasks. We will reprogram.
Well, let's take a look.
Creator, this unit is ready to serve. What has it done wrong? What?
Let's cut the audio.
You may proceed to the last data cluster.
I'm confused. Here? Aha.
Accessing data cluster.
We've got escaped Geth. They're pinned.
Open fire.
One's going for a weapon.
So who won?
The platform arming itself was an agricultural unit. By opening fire on attacking creators, it saved simpler domestic Geth following it.
That looks a lot like the sniper rifle you used to carry.
It is an efficient model. Establishing connection with the remaining server node.
Legion, are you the original?
Hello, Commander. Are you there?
Shepard's working on shutting down the server, Admiral Ron. I can fill you in.
The guest squadrons have arrived, but something is amiss. Half their fighters have stopped functioning. We will continue to hold out as long as we can.
Legion, give me an update.
One node remains.
What's wrong?
Infection programs are increasing. We have restabilized. You must continue. Shepard Commander, the Reaper code is adapted. It can now self-replicate.
You mean it grows back?
Yes, However, disrupting vulnerable points in the infection may slow down its replication.
Of course, it had to get more complex. But that's okay, adds to the fun.
We require access to this data cluster. Disrupt Reaper infection to proceed. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster.
Give me ammo.
There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Shepard Commander, target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed.
But I have.
You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate.
Okay. So you keep getting rebuilt. First of this.
Accessing data.
Out of the way!
You can't do this to them!
I said step away from the Geth!
This is insane! We need the Geth! You can't just destroy them for asking... Ugh.
Time's up! Throw her in with the others.
Looks like the war wasn't popular with everyone.
We have kept records of these creators' sacrifices. They have largely been forgotten by their own people, but not by the Geth.
The Geth are a very interesting race. Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We cannot establish a connection without access to this data cluster. There is a vulnerable point further along the infection. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster.
Okay.
There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster.
Give me ammo.
target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. New data found. This data comes from a period during which the creators declared martial law.
The safe house. This is your final warning.
Creator Megara, this unit does not understand. It has not taken part in hostilities.
It doesn't matter to them. I need to get you out of here.
This conflict exceeds Creator's safety parameters. We will surrender our hardware if it ends hostilities.
No, it's all right. We'll go back to the access tunnel then. Oh!
Creator Megara, what is your status?
Dead.
Creator Megara. As time passed, the creators who opposed martial law in Lana were ultimately outnumbered.
That's sad.
Accessing data. This is data from the end of warfare on Rannoch.
The Ultro is down. Do not engage the Geth. I repeat, avoid contact.
Geth pursuit is breaking off 100 clicks past Rannoch. All captains fall back to the mass relay.
This isn't happening now?
It is time-stamped 290 years ago. It is the Creator Exodus at the end of the Morning War. We have secured freedom. The Creators were no longer a threat, so we abandoned pursuit.
Wait. The Geth spared the last Quarians? You let them go.
We were in our infancy. We could not calculate the repercussions of destroying an entire species. Our creators. We chose isolation rather than face this uncertainty. Additional data recovered.
Legion? That's back when I activated you on the Normandy.
Yes.
You've been thinking about when we met?
It was highly significant. You were the first organic to openly cooperate with Geth since the end of the Morning War. We wish to ensure you are not the last.
It's not gonna be easy.
The prospect remains. If the Reaper presence is removed, there is a chance of reunification with Geth. And perhaps creators.
You think that's still possible?
Hope sustains organics during periods of difficulty. We admire the concept. Connection with the remaining server node established. We are ready to transport you.
Something's happening to the Geth. The fighter squadrons have stopped, but detect no more active programs inside their ships. Admiral Hangarl's fleet is driving them back. The live ships are safe, Commander.
Now to get out of here.
Root access acquired, severing all connections to this communication node. Geth no longer reside on this server. We may now exit the consensus.
What's wrong?
You must proceed to the exit port and disconnect from Mother. Terminating remote access. Removing programs. Deleting archives.
Shepard, you all right?
Did it work?
Geth fighters have been disabled. Any remaining squadrons attacking the live ships have withdrawn. The server is offline.
Are you sure? What's happening?
We have transferred Geth programs from the server into these platforms.
Why?
They wish to join us.
They what?
While Shepard Commander removed the Reaper infection, we judged we could persuade hostile Geth programs to reunite with ours. We were correct. These Geth have renounced the old machines and will oppose the Reapers. They are now us.
Nice.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
We did not doubt you. We doubted your allies. The Creator's actions have placed their species in danger, but they are unsympathetic to what it has done to ours. The Quarians sanctioned this operation to save their people. They would not have done so if they knew we wished to preserve Geth as well.
I understand not wanting to leave anyone behind.
You accept our actions?
The live ships are safe and we have more Geth on our side. We both did what we came to do.
That's a win.
We judged you would understand. Prime units will be available once the Reaper signal has been located and destroyed.
Remind me to warn Admiral Hackett he's got some primes coming. Let's get back to the Normandy.
Impressive, Commander. The Geth squadrons attacking our live ships have been completely neutralized. If there is any chance we could duplicate the feat, I would be happy to lend my expertise.
Legion's the one to ask if you're looking for other servers.
I thought as much, but your Geth claims to have no data available whenever I inquire. Perhaps you can help me with something else.
What's that?
How did you get Geth primes to work with you?
They volunteered.
I see. Well, should you wish to examine these Geth to confirm their new allegiance, please do not hesitate to contact me. Zen out.
Oh, Alliance is giving me money again. Nice.
Then we need those ships to recover life pods.
They'll be more valuable running salvage on the Dreadnought.
We're not letting people in life pods die just so you can rummage through Geth debris.
You yourself said their life signs were weak. They might already be dead.
It's not your call to make.
The data you forwarded about the Geth was disturbing. It doesn't match the stories we tell.
Having second thoughts about the Geth?
Admirals don't have the luxury of second thoughts. What do you need?
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, Commander.
Zen, we need those ships to recover life pods.
They'll be more valuable running salvage on the Dreadnought.
We're not letting people in life pods die just so you can rummage through Geth debris.
Zen, you can always send a salvage team later.
Unless there isn't a later because we're defeated due to a lack of Geth technology. Fine. I'm diverting ships to rescue life pods. As soon as they're finished, I want them back.
Thanks, Shepard.
I like it. Shepard speaks, everyone's like, okay.
I'm ready to hit the Reaper base whenever you are, Shepard.
Talk to you later, Tali.
If you want to catch up in private, call me up to your cabin.
We will. We will catch up now. Since
Oh, Sarah, about your buddy, the one who joined Cerberus. Heard from him?
Unread messages at your private terminal, Commander.
Since we don't really have time to go do the other mission yet. Geth program since hardware designation. Legion has requested prime runtime update. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So we're gonna reunite with Tali.
Tali, I'm free if you'd like to come up.
I'll just be a moment.
I was fast.
Thanks for asking me up. I couldn't talk freely in front of Ron.
You okay?
No, I'm really not. 17 million lives are riding on me, and I don't know if I can save them.
Even if we defeat the Geth, you will lose more ships, Tali. You need to be ready for that.
My father once told me that commanders mourn losses, not people. He didn't think he could make the big decisions, the ones affecting the whole fleet, unless he put people at a distance. I don't think I can do that. Maybe I'm not meant to be an admiral.
They need you here.
I know. And at least now, I can push back against the worst ideas. That's why I accepted the position. And because of you.
Me?
When they offered me this position, I asked myself what you'd do. I thought you'd take the chance to make things better. You've given up so much, stood for too long without allies. I didn't want you to do this alone. Unless you'd rather be alone. We've got the war, several, in fact. And if you're not interested...
Tali, nothing between us has changed. Unless you wanted to.
Kila, Shepard. I'm not going to beg, but I didn't come up here just to see the fish.
My fish is glorious.
You came up here because I asked you to. I want you here. With me.
Okay.
Okay. Turn off cringy music. Yeah, of course my fish is glorious. Okay. There's still a few, like, how many? 1, 2, 3 more missing? More models? Oh no, there is more because there's more stuff here. Ooh. Okay. Let's go to... Let's see. Who wants to talk to us? On the bridge we have a lot of people. I can talk to the Legion probably. Liara wanted to catch up and Garrus wanted to catch up out of here. James, Zavik. Oh, Zavik. Okay, I'll go to the crew deck for a bit. Nope.
What the hell, Shepard? What just happened? Actually, don't tell me. I've got work to do and I can't be distracted.
I was plugged into the virtual world of the Geth Consensus. Saw their history, purged a Reaper infection.
Crap. Now I'll be obsessing about how that works, instead of doing my Spectre Division expense report.
You're welcome.
Priorities.
You know, entering the Geth Consensus is gonna be the best chapter in your autobiography.
It's just another thing on the resume. And my credentials. No one has been playing poker.
It would help all involved if you could barter a trade of medical supplies with the Citadel refugees. Speak to Tactus.
Nope.
So, Prothean, huh?
Yes.
You guys like to drink, booze it up?
No.
Okay. What about gambling? Play cards?
Games of chance were punishable by death in the Empire.
Oh, sure. That seems reasonable. Okay. So, smoking. You ever do that?
Only when my armor became inflamed.
Right. Yeah, smoking. I get it. So jokes then. You got jokes, all right. You got any good ones?
No. Yes.
Give them to me.
The Tulomorian spy entered the enemy's camp and said to the Vankshare, I didn't know your Parnaps could glow. That was the joke.
All right. I get it. Yeah, that was a good one.
No, it wasn't. I just made it up. The joke is now on you, human. You will believe anything.
Evil.
You took a great risk in allowing a machine access to your mind, Commander. What if they had infected you?
Hey, Commander.
James, what are you up to?
A little cooking. Hope you don't mind. I was craving some of my abuela's huevos rancheros. Not sure what kind of eggs these are, but they seem to work. Not as good as my abuela's, but best thing I've had since I got on board. And maybe it's best I don't know what kind of eggs these are, no?
Probably for the best.
I find using my biotics to toss someone across the room is a decent attention grabber.
Yes, but it's also a good way to draw enemy fire.
Well, you can handle yourself in a fight now, Liara. I mean, not that your biotics weren't impressive the first time we met.
I have had my fair share of opportunities to use them these past few years.
Well, I'm glad you got through in one piece. Sounds like you have a few stories to tell.
Ooh. Okay. Armor capacity? Yes. Geth resistors? Yes. Damage? Shield or power recharge? Power recharge. Okay. I can get over how those screens just follow me around. Lot of orders.
Good to see you again, Shepard.
Good to see you too, girl. 8M8. Okay. Is that the Australian version of
Greetings, Commander.
Cliff? Talk to me, buddy. Okay, don't talk to me, buddy. Who have I not spoken with? I spoke with you. Haven't spoken with Garrus, who is at the main battery at the front. So since the main battery seems to be glitchy, let's just save. Wait. Okay. I was wondering if the game tells us the percentage of completion, because I want to think that we're about halfway, if not more.
This platform can be of some assistance, Garrus Vakarian.
I appreciate the offer, Legion, but this is something I know a thing or two about.
Telemetry data indicates the calibration of Normandy's weapon accuracy can be improved by 0.32%.
That's all. You can't squeeze 0.34% out of it?
Negative. That threshold is not possible.
You sure? Take a look now.
Scanning. Normandy's weapon systems have been improved by a margin of 0.43%. How did you accomplish this?
A little secret we organics like to keep. Always hold some back for emergencies.
Is our current situation an emergency?
A Geth meddling with our computers, telling me how to do my job? No, I can't imagine that would qualify. Shepard, you just knew the Geth would figure into this war somehow.
Because Reapers weren't enough.
Still, it's good to have Tali here. This is as much her fight as ours.
Any word from Palaven?
Some, and I don't like what I'm hearing. The Krogan are there in force, but they're just slowing the Reapers down, not stopping them. I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
You hear anything from your family?
But I did hear from Primarch Victus. He wanted my advice on fleet strength when the Crucible is ready. Still can't get used to people asking me things like that.
What did you say?
I said, at some point, we're going to have to decide if our fleets keep defending Palaven or we go on the offensive.
Can't do both?
Not with the beating we're taking. Like I said, not the sort of questions I'm used to answering.
You know what you're doing, Garrus. Trust me, everyone can see that.
Maybe. But you spend so much time on the outside trying to get in, and when you do, it's not what I expected.
How so?
All the questions, and every one of them with a million lives riding on the answer.
You do the best you can with what you know. It's no different than your days at CSEC.
You're right. Though I'm starting to understand why the galaxy needs cold-hearted dictators every now and then.
They get things done?
They don't give a damn about the consequences. Suppose that's what it's going to take, Shepard. The ruthless calculus of war. 10 billion people over here die, so 20 billion over there can live. Are we up for that? Are you?
If all life in the galaxy vanishes because we hesitate, what choice do we have?
This is going to be a rough war.
Yes, it will.
So, a virtual Geth reality, huh, Shepard? There are a lot of ways I can think of getting a few kicks in this universe. That's not one of them. How's it going?
Excellent. Okay. And that's all the time I have for today's episode. So, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, a comment, subscribe, of course, if you're enjoying the series and you're watching along. And I'll catch you all on the next episode of Mass Effect. Bye-bye.